impressive to me today was the last 10 minutes of the game, the intensity level that we played with. And I think they learned a lot about that. They learned a lot on the whole trip, mentally and physically. But I don't think there was any question that we were tired today. And even though we had a really good second quarter, it could have very easily turned into the last 20 minutes being, let's get through this and go home. And we continued to play hard in the third quarter, but not with as much purpose. And then I thought in the fourth quarter we played with tremendous purpose. I thought every guy made a decision that he was going to bring everything that he had, every one of those possessions. And the good news is they played extremely hard. We thought this team's level of intensity and hard-nosed basketball was on par with Carleton and Ottawa in the sense of not as good, but of players, but with that level of intensity. So that was really good for us. And I thought our guys got a lot stronger in the fourth quarter, and it was very indicative of what happens. You can be at your best. It brings it out of the other team. We only win the quarter by 6, but the bottom line was that the guys went in and there was much more purpose. The starting group we had at the beginning of the fourth quarter was plus 10 when they came out, when they started to come out. So that's what you want. You want to have a very good beginning. You want to have a very good ending. And you want the rest of it in between to be a ton of life lessons for them, basketball-wise and in their life. So in a nutshell, the things that we didn't spend much time on to prepare for this trip, it showed. Rotations defensively, closeouts, guarding the ball one-on-one. We did help defensive things and shell defense, but not to the level of the live that we saw here. We spent no time on blocking out and spent, it was, and offensive rebounding was not an emphasis. Like I said to you yesterday, it was a conscious decision of how physical we wanted to be in the summertime. And we had to play very physical out here. And it gives us a great indication right now of who needs what. It gives us a very good indication of what we need to spend a lot of time in the fall on to prepare for. But you cannot put a value on what it means for them to come out here and have the ball movement, to have to play this type of intensity, and in some cases very good competition, and playing against very skilled players. The toughness, and the thing that we were talking about this morning that so different with the 24-second clock is that you're playing fast, and you think you're playing a lot faster than you are at home because you are. But they take it to a whole other level here because everybody plays with the 24-second clock. So if you're not getting more possessions, all right, you're no better than the other guy. And these teams are very, very, very good at trying to capitalize on more possessions. Take the ball from you, try to grab the 50-50s, relentless offensive rebounders. That ball's anywhere near loose. When you pull it down, they're trying to grab it away. I love it. I mean, we've learned a lot. We've learned a ton. And we saw a lot of different defenses, and we didn't do as much set-wise or things like that offensively, but the ball movement and understanding how good everybody is and getting a better feel for one another out there for this type of youth on this team, very, very good for us.
Was it good for Rob to sort of have a game like this to sort of close the trip and go back?
You know, it's funny. I don't remember who brought it up yesterday. I hadn't read the stat sheet when we talked. I didn't have any clue that he didn't even score a point. And I told him that's the good news and the bad news. The good news is it didn't affect him, in my mind, because we were asking him to do so many different things inside of the game. But at the same time, he knew when we talked, he wasn't as aggressive as he could be in looking for shots, getting to the rim, getting to the foul line. He's 7 boards, you know, those things were good. So I thought it was a great sign of somebody that went out there and impacted the game, and it wasn't his scoring. And today he impacted the game, and his scoring was a big impact in the game as well. And so I thought that lesson right there, Rob will come back to look at that. You know, I hope there's not too many nights he's not scoring many points. I don't think there will be because he can score. And there was one little thing with his jump shot that we saw, and he got that tweaked in a hurry, and he was fading some, especially off the dribble, and he cleaned that up and did better with it. But I thought today was a great bounce back for a guy to be rewarded with scoring that really continued to play a very good floor game, good leadership game and a good defensive game.
Tom, can you talk about the offense? You talked about the players going to the corners and the kickouts. Is this different than what you played in the past, or you?
No, it's if you think back to our teams, the couple of years that we were really good, you had to guard our people there. And Victor was so good at understanding. Victor wasn't going to take threes from the corner, but he was really hard to guard in that short corner. And Victor used to average anywhere from 4 to 6 points a game in the short corner alone. Just in that action alone, whether it's back cuts, getting loose behind it. And those are the type of things. No, it's not different, and it's nothing unique to good basketball. It's having guys that can make those shots. And the trick is that the better they are at moving without the basketball, the better they are at driving the ball. And obviously the shooting enhances so much of that. When you're not sure if they're going to cut, drive it, pass it, shoot it, that makes you very dangerous in the corners. And that's where we've got to continue to head. What it is not is a license for everybody to shoot corner threes. And mention it, we don't want to be 12 seconds into the game and taking a corner three. That's not his role right now. But we'll learn more about that. So our spacing is going to be a strength of our team. There's no doubt about that. I think you saw some of that.
Speaking of shooting, I think you averaged like 55%. Just talk about how that is important compared to last year when you didn't shoot that well.
Well, we got good shots. You know, when I chart the games and my grading system back at home or back in the room, we're not taking too many bad shots. We might take some quick shots. We might have should have made the next pass. That's what we've really got to learn, is how to make the next pass that makes the shot even better. Because we had 6 guys in double figures today. And when that ball was moving, I mean, it doesn't matter who's getting it. And that's what our team has got to understand, that a lot of different guys can do a lot of different things. So the more it moves, the more you're going to put the defense in a tough place. And the more we can get the defenses rotating, the better we will be. You know, simple action. We run a high pick and roll set, double pick and roll set. We spread Yogi and Robert, all right, from one corner to the other, all right? Well, the defense is chasing them because they got to guard them in the corners. Both they just hit corner threes. James will get the layup. You know, that's the type of stuff. And that stuff for a young team to grasp is really good. And veterans like Yogi, they know when that ball moves, there's a really good chance it's going in and you're getting an assist next to your name. And I think that's important too.
Played some zone a little in the second half, even with Troy out top.
We played a lot in the first half though.
Yeah. Just, you know, is that something you think you might have Troy out top with some length and kind of do a little different things with that zone?
Well, we played a combination defense. We played our 2-3 zone. We didn't do anything else. I was going to get, you know, scientist driven today and decided not to. Just stick with a couple of things that we've been doing. But oh yeah, we're going to be. There's a lot of there's a lot of versatility on the team, which means there's going to be a lot of versatility in lineups. And it's not just about where you can play offensively; it's the different things that you can do defensively. If you noticed when we were playing zone, the majority of the time here, Yogi was on the bottom, where Yogi's always really been at the top. And Yogi's so strong and he's physical and he can get down and fight you down low. And again, we didn't spend very much time on the zone, and we spent really no time at all any type of live blocking out of the zone, and it showed. And we just put it in 2 days before we left, so we didn't really get down to the rotations of it and things like that. But it gives us a lot of you know, been there, done that now, and then we can really tweak it, add to it, drill it, break the drills down, and have them have a better understanding of it. And the versatility of moving guys around will be crucial for that.
What's different about that zone when you don't have maybe quite so much of the length? You don't have a guy like Will or a guy like Noah. How do you change it, or I just guess tweak it, that 2-3?
Well, you have to be very active with your hands, and we weren't. We were not nearly as active with our hands as we could have been. And I know we had deflections, but our deflection numbers would be not reflective of where we have to be defensively, and especially in our league with the low turnovers that are in the league that we have. So, or the low turnover teams that we deal with. So that's going to be crucial that we get the most out of our length. But again, moving Troy around, moving different people to the middle, all those type of things. We're not overly long, but we're long enough to cause problems. Let me say goodbye.